All right, so here we go again. Let's see if it works this time. Last week I tried to do it and like there was not enough storage in my cell phone. Figured out finally how to get. I had a 2 terabyte thing. Figured out how to put like photos in there, and it ends up being not the problem. So the problem is like apps and the actual phone thing. I don't know. I'll probably just have to pay the $10.99 or whatever. That's fine. Whatever. Anyways, let's talk about passive income, which is really, I think it is a lie, especially at the beginning. As the years go by, maybe a little bit more passive, but in my case, probably real estate, I wouldn't want to make it passive, because if I make it passive, like getting a property manager and just hiring absolutely everything out, then it probably is going to be very expensive, and it may not be worth having the real estate that you have. So that's why you always have to, if you're going to change an outlet, you can't be paying $300 an outlet. You got to have like your electrician that you give work to, and then they can come do that stuff. And maybe it's a friend, they do it for free, or they do it for less, or they whatever. And like you guys help each other out. But always have, even if it's not free, like try not to get stuff for free usually. Unless it's a friend that you like, a good friend, but and then you guys are cooking together, and then you have dinner, and it's like, yeah, I'll change your outlet, whatever. But try to get it with vendors that like you give work to, like on a consistent basis. Maybe for clients, if like for example myself, I'm a realtor, and I give plumbers, electricians, I give them work a lot of times, and then they'll come do my stuff and to my rentals in my primary. For less, not $200, but then maybe they'll charge me $80 or something. So that all goes into the whole cash flow thing, okay? And I think the whole passive income thing is just a huge lie. And passive income / cash flow, because let's say that you make $500 cash flow a month, okay? What is that? $6,000 a year, okay? If an HVAC goes out, okay, it's like, it's all gone. Now, Dion from Financial Freedom or whatever, he always talks about how you're supposed to have reserves, and the cash flow is not included in that HVAC, because like you're supposed to have already done the HVAC, like kind of reserved for the HVAC, $200 an HVAC, for example. And then if you haven't done that, then in reality, your cash flow is $300, not $200, okay? So it doesn't matter. Even if it was, let's say it's $500, $6,000 a year, it's not like much to like change your life, okay? And it is not really passive, because there's a lot of stuff that you got to do with rentals, unless you have a property manager, unless you're like hiring everything out. And if you're doing that, more than likely there is no cash flow. You might even be paying for it. There's a lot of people that pay to have rentals for tax advantages and for what it actually is. It's time, okay? So kind of like how David Green says, cash flow is BS, because, and he doesn't, this is where Dion and David Green kind of, they don't agree, I guess, because David Green talks about how like, okay, if it's $500 but an HVAC goes out, then it's all gone. So he's not really counting it. He's like, cash flow is like BS, because and he even wrote the book More Than Cash Flow or something like that, because cash flow is just kind of there as a bribe, kind of like a salary with a W-2 employee, that it's like a bribe, and you get health insurance. So like it's like it kind of crushes your dreams of like doing your own thing, because like you're comfortable. So cash flow kind of keeps you comfortable until you've owned it for like 10, 15, 20, 30 years. So it's like cash flow is like maintaining you there. Cash flow is kind of like keep that, making you not quit, because owning real estate sometimes can freaking suck. So it's like cash flow is like keeping you in the game until you finally realize, you wake up, it's 10 years, 15 years, and you're like, holy crap, like rents increase, my principal pay down is down, my principal is like way down, like, and I didn't pay it. So that's kind of like what it is. And then the whole passive income thing, it's like, yeah, you could make it passive, but do you really want to make it passive? Probably the only thing that would be, nothing's passive. I guess it's like, how passive is it? I guess the most passive thing would be stocks that you like just have an automatic transfer from a bank that you don't really do anything to like a index fund or something. And then you see it every year and it's like, oh crap, it went up like 10% or whatever it is. That's probably the most passive thing, but it's like, there's no real cash flow there. It's kind of like a long thing until you reach $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, whatever. And you can like withdraw if you decide to go 4% or 5% or whatever it is. That's probably the most passive thing. But real estate, passive, especially like short-term or midterm rentals, is not passive, bro. Maybe long-term, but then nowadays it's like, how are people buying long-term stuff and making it cash flow? I would not even do that. I would have to do short-term and midterm. It depends on your city, obviously. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm a realtor here. So hit me up if you're looking for a home here at realtor.branco on Instagram. Add me and say hi. If you're looking somewhere else, I can still connect you. I just connected somebody in Charlotte and somebody in South Carolina, great agents, and I'm making a referral out of it. So win-win, everybody wins, and you don't have to choose and look for a good agent. I will vet them. But anyways, yeah, it just depends. I can't see it as a long-term thing anymore, like 12 months or whatever, because their cash flow is just not there. It's too much work for that. Unless you have a lot of money, and there's some people do that. Some people make a lot of money, and they'll just buy rentals just for the tax, for the depreciation and not paying the taxes. But most of the time they'll make it also. I know people that make it Airbnb so they can do the cost segregation and all that. So it just becomes a whole tax thing where you need to have an excellent CPA that helps you, and probably somebody that actually invested themselves so they can actually give you the best advice possible because they do it themselves. But anyways, yeah, I think passive income in real estate is a little bit of a lie if you want to like actually succeed, especially in the beginning, with caveats that if you're somebody that makes like a really high income and you can make it passive, but you're paying a lot of money for that to property managers and CPAs and whatnot. But at that point, you're probably not even watching this video because you're too busy making your millions. But I wanted to like tie in this video also with the real estate. It's called the Small and Mighty Real Estate Investor. Coach Carson, he talks about it. I feel like I've talked about this before, but it's worth a shot to get into that book. He always talks about having a base. So, for example, your base is, I don't know, you spend $5,000 a month on your bills, and let's say you can get to that with 3 paid off properties. I always talk about getting 4 to 5, but if you can get that done with 3 paid off properties, $5,000. If you do like short term or midterm, and like it's like $2,000 each, but then insurance or $2,500 each, and then insurance and taxes and whatever maintenance or whatever, it all like it's like you get to the 5 once they're paid off. Then he talks about how you should kind of strive for that and like do flips or like buy extra properties that you don't really need and then let them appreciate or fix them up, rent them, and then now you can sell them for more the next year and 2 years. And then once you get those proceeds, try to pay off those amazing homes that like are in good areas and not give you as much trouble, and have them paid off so you can have a base. And then after that, you can decide whether or not you want to keep investing, because nobody gets into real estate because they love houses and love tenants. People get into real estate because they want more time to go to the gym, to travel, to be with family, to do whatever the heck they want, not because they love siding and roofs. So I love that concept. Mathematically probably doesn't make sense,